Hi and welcome back to the channel. My name's Phil and I'm the Ordinary Watch Guy. I'm pretty ordinary, but the watches are very special. I received a message beneath my previous video on 5 watch bargains from Paul301. Okay, so Paul says, I bought a Longines Hydro Conquest 2 weeks ago. MSRP is £1,700. However, some retail stores have it on sale for $12.75, which makes it a bargain in my eyes, and a bit of a bargain in my eyes as well, Paul. I want for my next watch an Omega Speedmaster. Can you recommend how to get one cheaper than 6.5k? Okay, Paul, let's do a video. First of all, what is the Moonwatch and why is it so special? Well, briefly, the Moonwatch, as it is commonly called, is the Speedmaster Professional. It's a hand-wound chronograph, famously certified by NASA as their preferred mechanical timepiece for space travel. It is, in fact, the only watch that NASA have endorsed, and in the history of sending astronauts to the moon, it is the only watch that NASA have used officially for such purposes. This is a very overlooked fact, a closely guarded secret, and Omega are notoriously shy about telling anyone, but I swear it's true. Headlines were written in the Apollo 11 mission of 1969 that famously saw Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong walk on the surface of the moon. Aldrin wearing his Moonwatch, but not Armstrong, because Louis had taken his off earlier while playing the trumpet and accidentally left it in the space module. Okay, that didn't happen. It was something to do with Neil Armstrong using his watch as a clock in the lunar module because the module clock wasn't as reliable or as accurate, or something like that. Apollo 13 was the real hero moment for this watch though, as 3 astronauts, Jim Lovell, Jack Swigert and Fred Hayes, floated helplessly in space following a catastrophic event that vented the space module's oxygen supply into the vacuum of space. This forced a shutdown of electrical systems, and suddenly the accuracy and reliability of the Omega Speedmaster took on a whole new life or death meaning. Towards the end of an almost 6-day ordeal, timing DPS burns for exactly 14 seconds and subsequently 12.5 seconds redirected the lunar module for re-entry to Earth. A simple mistake or inaccuracy would have been fatal. Not only was navigation achieved accurately, a cask containing radioactive plutonium oxide was jettisoned safely into the Tonga Trench, sinking 10 kilometers to the bottom without any radioactive leakage, averting something of a biodisaster too. This insanely heroic watch prevailed in NASA trials against Breitling, Rolex, Hamilton and Longines, although it has recently come to light that the Rolex Daytona was successful but couldn't be obtained unless NASA developed a stronger relationship with its AD, bought some additional jewellery, improved its buying history, or paid twice the MSRP on the grey market. It has been suggested that the sales assistant told Neil Armstrong that he'd have to wait at least 2 years for a stainless steel model, but he could begin his Rolex journey by buying a less popular two-tone Milgauss instead. The legend states that Armstrong got the call just 2 days after he passed away, on the 25th of August 2012. The lowest current MSRP for this proven icon of horological history is surprisingly £6,200 on a coated nylon fabric strap, which I think is still quite amazing when you compare it to the outstanding chronographs that surround it. But how can you get it for a lot less? Let me clarify here. What we're looking at today is the Hess-Light model, not the Sapphire Sandwich, on a strap, not on a bracelet, and this renders the argument between the superior newer bracelet versus the pre-2019 bracelet somewhat irrelevant. You do have to be aware a pre-March 2019 watch is going to have the less sophisticated 1861 movement instead of the newer 3861. Now this isn't a nightmare. The 1861 is actually far closer to the original Moonwatch, and it's a fantastic movement with plenty of people reporting incredible levels of accuracy. It's not a nightmare, but it's a consideration. Buying watches is about three factors in my mind: risk, reward, and customer experience. If you want zero risk, maximum reward, and maximum customer experience, you pay MSRP at a boutique and you get treated like a king. If you want to dial up the value, you have to dial down the experience and maybe dial up the risk by doing things like buying pre-owned or even sight unseen. Remember, always buy the seller, not the watch. If you don't get every bit of reassurance from your communications and interactions with the seller, you walk away. If you're willing to buy with box and papers on the pre-owned market, you can save a substantial amount on a Moonwatch. But before we look at pre-owned though, if you want to save some money, the first step is to simply rule out the boutique and go to an AD and ask for a discount. My personal experience in the AD is that you can simply go to an AD, try the Moonwatch on, say you like it, but you're unsure about the price and you're nervous about spending £6,200, indicate that you've been looking at the Moonwatch for a while and you're sure that's the watch for you though. They will probably offer you a discount. If they're not getting the message from this subtlety, don't be shy. Go more direct. What is the best price you can give me on this watch? Or even, what's the best price you could give me if I bought this watch today? I did this in Watches of Switzerland and I was offered 10% off the MSRP, a nice discount of £620. Get them to write the price down on their card. Leave your mobile number and walk away. They might just call you and offer you a little bit more. Remember, even another 2.5% off the watch is £155 in your pocket. And if you do any shopping in Cambridge, you'll realise that might just about pay for your parking. Take the card with the details written on it to the next AD and ask them to beat the price. I took it to Ernest Jones and they swiftly offered me 13%. That's an £806 discount on a brand new Moonwatch. So already the Moonwatch that was costing £6,200 is now costing £5,394, and that sounds a whole lot better to me. Hello Bessie. Be ready for the AD to tell you that there's an impending price rise and they can't hold that offer for very long. This may or may not be true, but they'll say it anyway. The truth is, if you go back in and you say yes, they're going to sell you the watch. Hello, Bessie. Buying in the pre-owned market. Okay. So £5,394 does sound tempting, but before you go and get your coat on, I think we can do a bit better than that. First, let's look inside the UK at the pre-owned market. The key here is a recent example with box and papers in excellent condition. A cursory glance at the same Moonwatch model with the fabric strap and buckle in very good condition with full set box and papers from 2021 can be had right now on Chrono24 for £4,299 from a private seller. You're almost saving £2,000 from the £6,200 that we originally began with. If you don't have £4,299 on you right now, we can try a little bit harder. We're now basically going to import a Moonwatch from Japan and we need it to cost less than £3,500 for that to make sense, because with the VAT, that'll come in at £4,200. Scanning watches with box and papers only, it's not difficult to find a very well presented watch with the modern Speedmaster box and full set presentation with both leather strap and nylon strap included on the lovely stainless steel Omega clasp for £2,986 plus VAT and £53 for delivery. This means that you'll land your Moonwatch for just £3,636.20, and we're now saving £2,563 from that original MSRP. But what are we losing? Well, I've had great experiences of buying from Japan via Chrono24 in the past. In fact, the company offering this watch is a dealer that I bought from before. I feel there's minimal risk in this transaction, knowing that they are highly conservative in their description of watches. In terms of buying experience, well, this is the worst experience you're going to get. No AD experience, no boutique treatment, no designer carrier bags, no glass of champagne. To quote the jacket of a former First Lady of the United States, I don't care, do you? Finally, the reward. Well, I do think that paying £3,600, including VAT, for an iconic Omega chronograph is laughably amazing value. It's like travelling back in time to a place where collecting great watches was almost affordable.
All right, past, here I come. Wow, everybody in 1955 was on fire.
What I do know is that I'd take this watch at £3,600 every time over the £25,000 grey market stainless steel Rolex Daytona. Don't even waste your time sending me salty messages. I'm not even gonna count this one as a hot take. So Paul 301, this video's for you, mate. I hope it helps and it has given you some options. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and if everybody else, if you've got some great hot tips on how to save money on an Omega Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch, then please let's throw them in the pot and we can all do better. I'm always delighted to hear any other ideas that help people to save a few pounds on their next watch. How do you go about securing the watch of your dreams for the price that allows you to sleep soundly after paying for it? Hit the comments. Please don't forget to leave me a like. And if you haven't subscribed but you love watches, please do help me to grow this channel by following. I got back from Milan on Wednesday night and I've got so much imagery to go through. I visited the Unimatic boutique, which was fantastic, and I visited an amazing tiny antique watch dealer called Watch Hunters, where I tried on antique JLC, Rolex, Vacheron Constantin watches, and I also went to the boutiques of JLC, Vacheron, Omega, and probably the most incredible overall AD I've ever set foot inside, who literally sold everything you could imagine. I'll be dropping a video soon to tell you all about it, but I seriously need to do some editing to tie it all together. Milan is a fabulous city with great transport and it feels incredibly safe. A bit like my visit to Paris, I couldn't take it all in one day, so sadly, I'm just gonna have to go back again for another day. Such a terrible shame. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.